City of a Thousand Planets. So Valerian City of a Thousand Planets is a sci-fi action movie that just came out this Friday, and this movie good. It's a mess. I'm being really honest, guys. A lot of people saw this movie before me, and it was like, this movie is not gonna be good. You saw the previews, it's gonna be shit. And I was just cautiously optimistic, like, okay, maybe it could visually at least be good, and it was visually good. Everything else, no. Stars Dane DeHaan, Sarah, I can't say her last name, so I'll call her Sarah D. And Rihanna, she's in it for like 5 minutes. A bunch of other nameless people that you don't give two shits about. The movie doesn't give two shits about. The movie's just all about the visuals, like space, aliens, wonder. It was a mix of Star Wars meets Men in Black meets The Fifth Element meets Jupiter's Ascending. It's just not as good as those movies. It's not well executed as those movies. No storytelling, no good character development. And pretty much the problem with this movie is that you can't get invested with the character because one, you don't know what the fuck's going on. There was a lot of parts of the movie I was just like, well, what's going on? What's happening? I mean, just a lot of space science mumbo jumbo shit that's just really hard to follow because the movie just glosses right through it, expects you to remember it. I don't think so. Look at the pros and cons, but I believe that Valerian City of a Thousand Planets is in theaters right now. If you want to take a chance to go see it, I suggest you wait for it. Adding in the movie, like I said, our two main characters, Dane DeHaan and Sarah D. They were functional in the movie, but their characters were just bland and hollow. You don't really give two shits about their character because the two actresses playing them, they don't have good chemistry together. And they have zero chemistry. They're like trying to be like, oh, I love you, you know, my girlfriend, I want you to marry me. But you're just so not into it that you're just not into it. Just like, why are you trying Dane DeHaan? Just stop. Dane DeHaan was functional in the movie, but he could be played by anybody. I'd rather he be played by like Chris Pratt or something. At least Chris Pratt would have brought that charismatic, you know, Han Solo that he would bring to a science fiction movie like this. And now we just got Dane DeHaan pretty much just doing what he did in Cure for Wellness and Amazing Spider-Man 2. So there you go with that. Plot in the movie, I don't even know how to explain the plot. And pretty much how it starts off with, there's just like this alien planet with these like blue people, and they're on this like seashell planet, and this planet gets wiped out by something, and then all of a sudden Dane DeHaan and girlfriend, they gotta like find out, I guess, who destroyed the planet, the whole conspiracy behind that, while going through this intergalactic place they call space. But best way I could put it, because this just shit's hard to follow, it really is. It was a movie, I'm gonna say that visually it is amazing. There were a lot of shots in the movie I was like, oh, you know what, that looks cool in 3D. If I saw this movie in 3D, I would probably be like, that looks visually crazy. When you go to the different planets, the colors pop, and the different cultures are just really, it is impressive. But visuals don't make a movie alone, because it's like, I put it like this. Imagine you have a steak, a really good looking juicy steak. That steak looks just juicily, amazingly good. But then you cut into it and bite it, and you're just like, you know what, this steak's pretty bland, doesn't have any flavor to it, it's really like bland and hollow. And that's pretty much what this movie's about. This movie is visually crazy, visually good, but doesn't have any guts in the inside to get you invested, to get you involved. Just a lot of bright colors and flashiness and space cowboy crazy shit. But we're gonna do the cons in the movie. One of the main cons is that the story itself, storytelling is kind of bad, because you don't really find out what our characters are really doing until probably like a good hour or two of the movie. But when you get to the hour in the movie, you're like, oh, that's what they gotta do, that's what they gotta figure out. Okay, I guess. Yeah, some scenes in the movie didn't make sense either. Matter of fact, there was a scene when open it up where I guess Dane DeHaan was on this desert planet of, you know, not Tatooine and shit, and he had to wear these visual goggles that put him into this different dimension. But it was just like he was still running in the real world, so it was like, did the things in that dimension, would it have affected him? The movie doesn't explain that at all, just expect you to just know. I was just like, that doesn't make sense. Why is he doing that? I don't know. But in the day, Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets, I was kind of hoping like this would be like a nice little July movie to end the month off. Visually great, but that's what it has to offer at the end, just visuals, nothing else. That's what you gotta know. That being said, I have to be completely super honest. I'm going to say that despite all the visual wonder it is, Valerian City of a Thousand Planets is sadly a 2 out of 10, which means you're not gonna remember it at all. And that's all, guys. Subscribe. Until next time.
Here they come.